Welcome to Bird Seeds, and as always, thank you guys so much for listening. I recorded a really awesome guest episode last week, and I'm really excited to get it mixed. It's going to be a slightly different format. It wasn't as sort of formatted in the episode, which is more conversation. It's going to take me a little bit. I'm going to go kind of dissect it. I'm curious to see how that format's going to kind of hold up as far as future episodes with guests and things like that. So should be fun. Not exactly sure when I'll get to doing that editing. So Adam, I'm not sure when, if you're listening to this one, I'm not sure when I'll get that one out, but it will be soon, or soon enough, I should say. But today we're going to talk about, and I'm just really excited about the conversation we had. Just, I feel like Adam and I are just kind of two souls on the same course or similar course. We think things differently, but we kind of come to the same conclusion. So it's pretty cool. So today we're going to talk about an email that I got. It's following the similar trends in the concepts we've been talking about the last couple episodes. Getting out of my own way, figuring out what exactly it is that I want, not being a people pleaser, doing it for me, those kind of things. And that all kind of on the surface sounds selfish. It's not the way it's intended by any means here. But it's from I'm going to call him a mentor. He would not call me a mentee, but I'm going to call him a mentor. I follow him a lot. Actually got a chance to have a 1-on or 2-on-1 session with my partner for about an hour on a Zoom call, which is unbelievable when you consider how successful and important and busy this guy is. I learned so much in that call. We stay in touch a little bit, so can't wait to kind of follow up and give him some more nuggets as I continue my entrepreneurship journey through the startups here. But just an awesome guy. If you're not familiar with Srivatsaa, you should be. He's got a podcast. It's an amazing podcast. He's just got a ton of content on Instagram. It's kind of his main. He's got stuff on YouTube. It's real estate, but it's bigger than real estate. Just super, super, super smart guy, super dedicated guy. I love his tagline. It's work hard and be nice. It's fantastic. And what he's done to Real, he's the president of Real Broker. What they've done is unbelievable. I think they went, if I'm not mistaken, from like 6,000 agents to like 25,000 agents in like less than 2 years. Unbelievable. Really love what they're doing over there. I'm happy to be independent myself with Red City Real Estate and have ownership of what we're doing. But if not for that, I was probably going to wind up at Real to be an agent. So love it. Sharran. Again, if you're not familiar, absolutely Google him. Sharran. Sharran. If you Google that, I am sure you're going to find him. His last name, Srivatsaa, Srivatsaa. Sends out a ton of emails. He's always giving. That's what I love about following his content. He's always giving. He's always trying to help people. In business, it can be cutthroat. It can be, judging each other against each other, as we talked about in these episodes. He's like, hey, we all win when we all win. So let's just go. And he just passes along information. It's frankly quite amazing. But I got this email. It was actually 2 weeks ago, and I've kind of just been sitting on it, marinating on it, shared it with a few people, decided I was going to make it a topic for today's episode. And the subject line was simple as what other people think. I'm just going to read this to you, and then we'll go back and break it down. A fish doesn't know if it's in water. It swims, breathes, and moves, never questioning what surrounds it. Not until it's pulled out, almost like an invisible current. That's how most of us live. We think we're making our own choices, but we're surrounded by invisible currents. Expectations, approval, pressure. They shape our decisions without even us realizing it. Case in point, meet my friend Steve. We call him Steve-O. Steve-O had 2 job offers. One was at a big name company, safe, prestigious, a job his parents would be proud of. The other was a startup, risky, unstable, but aligned with his passion. It felt like a simple choice. But was it really his? If he took the corporate job, was it because he wanted to, or because it was the smart choice? If he took the startup role, was it because he wanted it, or just to prove he wasn't like everybody else? This happens to all of us. Sometimes we follow the rules to fit in. Other times we break them just to be different. Either way, we're still letting others decide for us. Real freedom isn't about ignoring people. It's about choosing what feels right without needing approval or rebellion. Steve-O took the startup job, not to impress, not to rebel or rebel, but because it was his passion and his decision. It's crazy. A fish doesn't see the water until it learns to swim against the current. Same for us. Everyone is busy working on their own goals. You should focus on yours. Because you don't change the world by impressing people. You change the world by doing what you love. That's what impresses them. Do what makes you happy. The world will come around. I mean, what a message in that. Am I wrong? And how apropos to what we've been talking about is that? At the end of the day, what I talk about is that I compare myself. That's kind of the big thing. I compare myself and I lose sight of my own goals and ambitions because it's in comparison to other people. And sometimes it's really hard to slow down and go, what do I actually want in this moment? Or what do I really want to get out of it? Is it, and it's always the why, right? Yeah, okay, I want to do this, but why? What is that going to unlock for me? What is that going to do for me? How is that going to change my life? How is that going to relieve stress and pressure? How is that going to add stress and pressure? All those things. And removing the comparison to other people is key. Do it because you want to do it. And I fully believe if you give something 100% and you 110%, whatever that cliche saying is, and you put everything you have into it and you dedicate to it, it will be successful. I love that last line. The world will come around. Do what makes you happy and the world will come around. Right? Like when you do it, and I don't mean dabble, I don't mean see what happens and play the safe bet. I mean do it. You guys know I come from the music background. The bands that made it were the bands that every member of that band put 100% in. They just did it. 100%. They got, whether back then tattoos are kind of normal now, but back then the ones that did well, they're the ones that went and got tattooed at 18 years old, like sleeves. They didn't think about what was coming next. They didn't think about what would happen if they failed. They didn't think about getting their corporate job down the road when their music career didn't make it. They said, we're making it. This is the future. This is the now. This is the future. This is what we're doing. Let's go. The ones that did that are the ones that got further. The ones that sort of said, well, I don't know, maybe I'll go to college or maybe I'll, get this other job or I'll get the tattoos when we get there. And don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying go get tattoos. They're permanent. Think about what you're getting. Make sure you actually want them. Don't get them because it's the look and it's cool. I love how he talks about that in here as well. He talks about the rebel. Sometimes we do things either because we think it's what people want or we do it in contest to what people think we want. I tend to fall in that category. Don't tell me what to do and how to do it. I'm going to do the exact opposite and prove you wrong. But am I doing that because I want to do it that way, or am I doing that because I just want to prove them wrong? It's a tough one. That's a really big tough one. But yeah, so again, it's the ones that really committed. They said, this is what we're going to do. We're not planning for failure. We're not planning for the what ifs because they're not going to be there. Does that mean that they didn't have, setbacks and hiccups and things fell apart and they put them back together? No. I'm sure they had those. Everybody does. But when you're so singular focused on what it is you want to do and caring about doing it and you put everything you have into it, you figure it out when those hurdles come. You do something, you pivot, you do whatever. That's kind of the theme of the conversation I had with Adam. I kind of sort of brought it up in the beginning and I'm teasing a little bit on it and I can't wait for that one to come out. But Adam's a guy, if you look at his career trajectory, and I've only known him for about 10 or 15 years, you look at his career trajectory, you'd be like, man, is that guy ever going to focus? He's all over the place. But what I noticed is what the overall is, where he's working, what exactly he's doing. Those were just part of his mission. His goal wasn't to be a title rep. His goal wasn't to be title insurance rep. His goal wasn't to be a wellness director, whatever it is, right? His goal was to live a clean and healthy and strong life with his morals, where he needed to be. And it's awesome because he has taken that path. So again, this one really resonated with me. I hope it resonated with you. If you want me to send you this email, just shoot me a note. I'll forward this whole email to you. I'm certainly saving it. And I have followed Sharran for quite a while, well before he took the role at Real. He started a brokerage, Telus Properties out in California, sold that to Douglas Elliman for quite a lot of money. He started another company called Kingston something. I should know it off the top of my head, but I don't. Kingston something. And I'm pretty sure the Steve-O guy he's talking about here was Steve Olson, who he was partners with in that startup. And it was like Kingston Leads maybe, but it was like a service for agents to help them market better and how to convert leads better and things like that. And I used that product for a while. It's great. So it's kind of cool to read this and sort of know who he's talking about. Not that I know him personally by any means, but just kind of know of him. And I followed his journey as well. So these are two people that I think are massively successful. But why? It's because they did it their way. And they did it because they loved doing it, wanted to do it, and it was their passion. Not because they thought it was the right choice or the smart choice. Thanks for listening. Joe Bird, Birdseeds.